So, Mark, Newcastle United Cup upset. We've always been under the impression that squad depth is going to be an issue for this team, but the lads that have came in from times in the Premier League have always done quite well. Thinking of like Murphy, a couple of others, Longstaff even to a certain degree. That upset in the cup against Sheffield Wednesday, has that made you think that Newcastle might look at this transfer window a little bit different now because they were poor?
Um, no, in all honesty, I don't think they will. We made a lot of changes. I think there was only really three regular first team starters that were in the lineup from the start. So when you make that amount of changes, obviously it's going to have a big impact. I still think we'll do minimal business, despite the league position that we're in and the opportunity that we've got. I think obviously with the financial fair play hanging over us, um, I know Eddie's talked in the media around potentially one in, one out and stuff like that. Again, that could just be a little bit of gamesmanship from him to try and, play it down a little bit from that side of things. But I think if we do business, I can't see more than potentially one player coming in and maybe a second if we clear some people out.
It'll be the same as usual. We'll probably see majority of business towards the end of January, which it's the same every single year in the January transfer window. But I think we had the discussion last week on the podcast that if you get an injury to the likes of Trippier, Bruno, then we may be in trouble in regards to holding that top four position, which we're probably aiming for as a club now with the start we've had this season. I'm a little bit worried. Beforehand, I wasn't necessarily worried, but after that performance, where we're seeing 8 changes Eddie Howe made, that makes us think that the backup is nowhere near good enough.
Yeah, it's like you say, when it's like one player coming in to just cover a little bit of a run in the team, you don't notice it as much. I think the fact that we've got both of we're first choice left backs unavailable, and obviously Burns been playing there for a long time. If he needed to move across into the centre, it leaves it short there with obviously Lewis having to come in, which I know it was his first game at the weekend, but he looked miles off the pace. Manquillo went over there and filled in. Manquillo's able. He was the one probably from the weekend that came and didn't do too badly. But you're filling square pegs with round holes or whatever
The other way around.
to do it. So it's like I said the other week there, it is that concern over if something happens to your main man, then we might look to struggle.
And you could start dropping down the league positions, which, yes, we're talking about top 4 here, but I think we're all in agreement top 10 this season would have been a hell of an achievement, seeing that relegation fight. But I just think maybe the club might look at this now and think maybe we need 1 or 2 in. It's just to keep that push.
It'll give a little bit of more weight to the argument should Eddie need to have it. I don't think he needs to have it with the owners, because if he believes that we need to strengthen in a certain area, I think we'll do it. There's not going to be any arguments over it if it's the right business. And I think with the coach, the scouting staff that we've got in there, all of the research that they do into the character, the attributes of the players and all of that kind of thing, that they would identify the right target. And if the price is right and they can do business, they'll do it. So
how many players are you thinking? I'm going 2, but 2 decent players. 1 starter, and 1 backup.
I think realistically that would be it. I think definitely one, and then
1 big name as to come straight into the team. I think it will be
potentially. I mean, there's been noise today again about Diaby. Again, you don't know how much of that's just kind of press talk and stuff like that. Everybody's still banging on about Maddison. I don't think that will happen at all.
It looks more like it'd be Tielemans.
Well, that's where the noise has moved to, isn't it? But midfield and is the concern. The right wing side of things, we've eased that a little bit with the performances of Miggy. Left back is an issue because you've got Byrne playing there, but he's given you that stability at the back that we need. That allows
been really well for left back. Yes.
We didn't expect him to be playing there, but he's played there regularly previously for his previous club, and he's played there most of the season now. So potentially it could even be somebody a little bit of backup coming in for Trippier, maybe that younger player could go into there. But yeah, I think midfield, either a little bit of creativity or somebody that can go into that 6 to free up Bruno.
Yeah, I think we need somebody that can impact a game if they're on the bench as well. That's what we've struggled with. There's not many options that can change the game off the bench at the minute. So I think one starter, one going straight into the first team, and one challenging for a first team spot. That's what I'm going for. But all at the end of January.
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to. I mean, we booked the trend last year, didn't we, with bringing Trippier straight in because that was kind of had been worked on for a long, long time. He was in on the first couple of days. So what a year he's had. But most of the time, you're looking later on in the window to do the business, which is what we then seen happen last January. So
They went 2.
Yeah, definitely 1, maybe 2.
Then about 0.
3. But hey, we could have 0. Again, Eddie's backed his squad to say that he's happy and confident with the lads that he's got there. But I think, given the choice, he'll strengthen if he can.